How well did you sleep last night? That's a question we all get asked on occasion, but I'm sure it's not a topic many of us think about very often. But I would wager that many of you lead a sleep-deprived life and don't even know it. The World Health Organization claims that 2/3 of the developed world fails to meet the recommended average of 8 hours of sleep per night. And a National Geographic program, Sleepless in America, came to the conclusion that about 40% of American adults are sleep deprived. Now, I'm no neurologist, I'm no psychologist, but I can speak to the benefits restful sleep can add to your life. But for now, I need you to understand that sleep deprivation is a serious health issue in both the short and the long term. I'll be talking about how one night of poor sleep can affect both our minds and our bodies, as well as the long-term side effects of chronic sleep deprivation. First, let's focus on our minds. We can spend years practicing something, but even one night of poor sleep can really hamper our abilities. And that's because acute sleep deprivation hampers our mind. We've all had that haze at work where we seem to fumble the simplest of tasks after poor sleep. Well, an article from the journal The Surgeon had results that showed that surgeons with less than 6 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period had their skills eroded by 32%. And these are people that spend close to a decade honing their skills. Another thing acute sleep deprivation affects is our emotions. When we're tired, we'd like to avoid people, and it's hard to be present emotionally. And that's because we're not only hampered by our own emotions, but it actually hampers our innate ability to detect emotional facial cues from other people. And this can lead to damaging results in both our personal and our professional relationships. So now, we're not all surgeons, so a mistake at work might not mean physical harm for others, but sleep deprivation can harm you through a different avenue, and that's motorized vehicles. The AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety did a couple-year study that had some interesting results on your increased risk of a car crash. 6 to 7 hours of sleep, you increase your risk by 1.3 times. That's not so bad, but the same study showed that if you got under 4 hours of sleep, your crash risk increased to 11.5 times the normal risk. That's about the same as a drunk driver with a blood alcohol level of 0.12, and that's really, really drunk. So while drowsy driving might not I gotta look more. I gotta look over at this thing more. I'm not looking at